I lived close. Most of the kids who lived in Hopkins, no matter how far away, they all went home for lunch. I walked home for lunch because I was about 4 blocks away on 11th Avenue North, and eat lunch and come back, and I was never late. I think we had an hour. I kind of envied the farm kids who came in who had to eat lunch here, and once in a while my mother would make me a lunch so I could eat at school. But it was, or the other occasion might be it was really cold weather or something, then I wouldn't have to trudge home at noon. But that was, I think the high schoolers, some of them may have gone to Jorgensen's or something for a snack at lunchtime. But farm kids were the ones who were eating here regularly, or I guess some of them may have brought their lunches. The penance for chewing gum in class that you wouldn't do today was to go home and write 100 times, "I will not chew gum in class." So that could occupy your time. If I chew gum in class, I have to go home and write on several sheets of paper, "I will not chew gum in class," and bring it back the next day.
This was in junior high. I think it was junior high. Anyway, my teacher didn't like grape gum, and somebody brought up several packages, obviously, and gave each one of us in class a stick of grape gum, and we're all chewing it. And when she came in, she was really upset, and she said, "You're all staying after school," except she said, "I didn't have to stay because I wasn't chewing it. I had already swallowed it." And this other girl who was sitting next to me, she didn't have to stay either, and the class was really upset because they knew that we were all chewing the gum.
I don't know if I told you how I met my husband. He was going to St. Louis Park School. He lived in Edina, which was all farms then. It wasn't a rich place like it is now. But he was going to Edina and take in the bus and pick him up, of course. And our coach, Butsy Metzold, which everybody knows Butsy from Hopkins, but Metzold, they had that ballpark down. Anyway, he saw him play football, and he was such a great football player that he went and talked to his parents and asked if they would like to have him come to Hopkins. Well, they didn't care where he went. However, he'd have to find his own way to school, which was 5 miles from where he lived. So he had to walk every day to come to school because Butsy wanted him here. And if it wasn't for Butsy, I would have never met him. And he was a senior and I was a sophomore when I met him. And it turned out to be a great marriage. He just passed away 7 years ago. I was married 62 years. So it was great.
That is from Jake's store. My best friend Ruth, who would pick me up every morning for school, you know, because we just lived down the alley, with a sack full of candy from her store, which we would eat all the way to school. And then in those days, we went home for lunch. So when she would come back after lunch to pick me up, she would have another bag of candy. Think what that was doing to our poor teeth. But it was wonderful.
Street, actually just 1 block from here, on 14th Avenue, right on the corner. 15th, yeah, I'm sorry. My big sister has to correct me all the time. I forget. Anyway, we lived there, and it was just 1 block from here, so therefore we couldn't ride the bus, and I just envied all those kids that could ride that nice bus every day, you know.